Yo, what is going on, guys? Plunge here, and today we're gonna be doing another video request, and this is the request of Leonardo Villegas. He said, if you want to see another video about which Kamen Rider is the strongest, I recommend Knight of Spear, all main Kamen Riders rank weakest to strongest. Okay, so this is gonna be an interesting video because we're gonna see who's the strongest, which I think is Amazio at this point, right? Because I know it's him. But I'm interested to see who is the weakest Kamen Rider. I want to know who that is, because, you know, that sucks if the weakest is one of my favorite Kamen Riders. But yeah, that's enough talking for me. Without any further ado, let's go watch the all main Kamen Riders rank from weakest to strongest. Alright. Here we go with the top 10 now.
No, I'm a wizard.
Kamen Rider Wizard. Okay.
I don't think anyone would disagree that Wizard is a massive powerhouse. He's been able to support the weight of the 3,800-ton Kyoryujin. He can incinerate a concrete pipe within seconds, meaning he can generate flames exceeding 1,800 degrees Celsius. He's strong enough to part the sea like Moses and then freeze it solid. But his best measurable feat so far comes from when he managed to kick his enemy, Phoenix, into the sun. A feat that would have required a force equal to 1.5 billion tons of TNT to accomplish.
Oh, that's one way to go.
Dragon is far from his strongest form. As Infinity, Wizard can temporarily gain short bursts of super speed. There's no clear visual indicator to suggest how fast he might be moving, but since he was able to shoot Phoenix into space at 45 times the speed of light, the laws of physics would require him to be moving at the same speed. Obviously, the Kamen Rider universe doesn't necessarily have to obey the same laws of physics as our world, but light speed movement isn't too far of a stretch, since we've already seen Beast hyper dodge lasers in the past. Regardless, Infinity style can almost certainly blitz any other opponent, and if we had more solid feats to work off of, I'm sure he can be even higher than this.
Oh, X8, hello. I'm honestly surprised by the number of riders I've seen be like higher up on the list. I did not know they were this strong.
This thing is absolutely busted. It easily has the best defensive capabilities we've seen so far. In addition to being able to tank attacks from characters as strong as Parado while barely even flinching, and having the second highest base punching stat in all of Kamen Rider, Emu has access to a short-range teleport ability that functions akin to an auto-dodging mechanic in a video game. Even if Emu's unaware of an incoming attack, Hyper Muteki will automatically teleport him out of harm's way, which is applicable to attacks that travel at over twice the speed of sound. Unfortunate, considering that's pretty much the exact tier of speed that most other Kamen Riders fall under. Once again, if it was more clear what the upper limit to X8's durability was, I'm sure he could be even higher on this list. He did survive Genmu's planet-slinging attack in the novel, although I personally don't consider any of the novels to be canon. Plus, if I did, I would also have to give him Mighty Novel X, which would just automatically bump him up to the #1 spot.
Really? Kamen Rider Game.
Admittedly, Gaim has never proven to
my
be
bad,
leagues
boys.
above the other riders
It's not
in terms
Game.
of just physicality. In the past, he's managed to beat characters like Demushu, who claims he could destroy the entire city. And he's consistently shown to be a bullet timer, once defeating the Girio Bugster, who could block bullets from Spectre and attacks from Do-Re-Mi-Fa Beat, which are actual sound waves. Once you take into account the Golden Fruit, however, things like physical abilities start to matter a lot less. As an Overlord, Kota has cosmic
He's an
scale
Overlord?
awareness,
Whoa, he just
and
ripped
was able to find an
space and
uninhabited
time.
planet on the other edge of the universe. Kota was able to suck every Inves off of the planet within seconds, so there's pretty much nothing stopping him from bringing them all back if he needed to, or from sucking his opponent onto an uninhabitable planet themselves,
Jesus,
or maybe
look at that.
into a black hole. Kota can also be scaled to the other users of the golden fruit, such as Roshuo, who has telekinetic powers strong enough to split the walls of a canyon in half, destroy weapons on the molecular level, and even stop an incoming barrage of missiles without detonating them. In his previous form, Kota once healed from the brink of death within a matter of hours, but as the man of the beginning, he should be able to heal from the most serious flesh wounds near instantly. If Gaim had anything that could be considered a possible weakness, despite his ability to time travel, he seems to be unable to alter the flow of time in any meaningful way, and could be vulnerable to being killed in the past or having his powers stolen.
Okay,
Other than
that makes sense.
just being able to outspeed or overpower Gaim is still enough to take him down. It's not like he's invincible or anything, although doing so would still be a challenge considering how you need to fight all of the forces of Helheim just to get to him.
彼が stronger なら俺は strongest というところか
Kabuto. When I watched Kabuto the first time and you guys told me like he can stop time and stuff, I was really surprised. I thought he was just like a beetle Kamen Rider.
It's quite funny, actually. When researching this character, I noticed someone on Kamen Rider Wiki made sure to include how Kabuto only lost this fight because Stronger had already weakened him. But if you ask me, as far as I can tell, the only reason Kabuto lost is because he wasn't using the Hyper Sector. In the movie Godspeed Love, Kabuto was able to completely halt the momentum of an apocalyptic level asteroid, teleport it 7 years into the past, push it into another asteroid, and then survive the collision of the two meteors from close range. The exact speed of Clock Up is oftentimes portrayed pretty inconsistently. I know the crossover movies often depict Faiz and Kabuto as being the exact same speed as one another. This is just blatantly false and can be excused as a continuity error on the writer's behalf. Kabuto is able to move at the speed of light, actually making him thousands of times faster than Fai's Axel, and Hyper Clock Up lets him move twice as fast. There seems to be some sort of
Twice the speed of light?
limit
Jesus.
for how long Clock Up can be used for, although it seems to last for around half of the fight scene usually. So basically, in Clock Up mode, he's fast enough to do pretty much whatever he wants against his opponent, and then outside of it, he should be durable enough to survive most of their strongest attacks as well. As for his time travel abilities, I really don't think they would be much of a factor in this fight. I'm positive Soji could do something like go back in time to 5 minutes before he ever met his opponent and then kill them at clock up speed before they have a chance to transform. Although I feel like this type of strategy is something Soji would consider cowardly, so his prideful nature would likely prevent him from doing so.
Kamen Rider
Kuga
Kuga.
is probably the most well-known planet buster amongst the Kamen Rider community. He does have some other useful abilities, but nothing that can really match the combat potential warranted by having planetary level attack potency. A lot of members of the English-speaking community seem to be unaware of where this feat comes from. The ultimate kick is only ever mentioned and not shown, leading a lot of fans to speculate that he can't actually do it. There's even some fan theories attempting to explain how Kuga could possibly destroy the planet with only the amount of power that he's shown in the past.
Japan has a median tectonic line, or an MTL, which is the longest fault line that's inside of Japan. 110 megaton nuclear bomb-like explosion happening in Japan on that fault line could literally not only destroy all of Japan, hell, it could practically crack the earth.
So first off, yeah, of course Yusuke isn't ever going to actually destroy the planet. That's where he lives. Second, while it's definitely true that 100 tons of force isn't nearly enough to destroy the entire planet, it's not enough force to wreck a city either. So at this point, we have to accept that the official stats don't really matter as much, nor can accurately be correlated to physical feats of strength.
実験を始めようか。
Quite as strong as peak Avolto, but just being able to go toe-to-toe against a guy
Jesus,
who
that's
can
just a
swallow up
black
entire
hole.
moons and planets within seconds is a testament to how
These
powerful
Kamen Riders
he
are
is.
so crazy,
Similar
bro.
to Wizard's Infinity, Build Genius is able to travel
Like
short
at first
distances at
glance, you think
incredible
they're just like
speeds.
street
At the end of
level,
the series,
you know,
we see
superheroes,
Kamen Rider Cross
and
carrying
you see shit
Avolto
like
into
this happen. They're
space
just
across
taking
a
them to
distance
space,
almost equal to
destroying
Earth's diameter. Both
reality
Build and
itself.
Avolto
It's
are portrayed
crazy.
as being much faster than the other riders. So if we assume that the two are moving at exactly twice the speed of the others, that would mean Build could be moving at over 6,700 times the speed of sound.
Kamen Rider Black.
Admittedly, before I started researching this video, I really wasn't aware of how powerful Black truly is. At the end of the first season, Black impales the Creation King with the Satan Saber, after he threatens to burrow down to the Earth's core and destroy the entire planet from within, meaning Black himself must at least be a planet buster. I say at least because the Creation King has been shown destroying 32 stars at once, and was supposedly a universe buster in his prime. So calling Black a planet buster, as absurd as it might sound, is still technically
Not far-fetched,
a lowball.
yeah.
Black RX is confirmed to be twice as powerful, so he should naturally belong one spot higher on the list. He's fast enough to dodge lasers, meaning he should be able to fight against opponents who can
Consistently.
travel at the speed of light. Not that it really matters much anyways, since all it would really take for him to win is one good hit from either the Satan Saber or the Ray Volcane. Kotaro himself seems to possess some sort of immunity to time freezing abilities, as well as time warping in general. However, I won't let him travel back in time freely to fight alongside multiple versions of himself, since it's never really explained how he manages to do it to begin with, leading me to believe it's not actually within his control, although this really wouldn't help him much anyways against our remaining two combatants.
Okay, I wanna see who that is. Decade. Is it Decade? Not surprised, he can summon the other
I don't really
riders.
think I should have to explain why Decade is top tier, but I'm going to do it anyways. Since Tsukasa has the powers of every single main Kamen Rider, that also means he has access to each of their most overpowered abilities. Hyper Clock Up, he's got that. Kuga's Ultimate Kick, he's got that. And those are just the cards that he's confirmed to have already. Since he now has cards for the Neo Heisei Riders as well,
got
it's possible
Zeo,
he could
too.
have access to forms like Hyper Muteki or Super Tatuba. Hell, even one of the toy lines features Decay transforming into Avo Black Hole, although I doubt this could be considered canon. Not that he really needs it anyways, considering Decade is a multiverse buster, which includes
Multiverse
our
buster.
own universe as well.
Jesus.
He's able to create spatial rifts at will, allowing him to travel across dimensions between any point in space or time. And unless his opponent has some means of teleportation or time travel, they pretty much have no possible defense against being trapped inside
Well,
one
those
of
Super
these things.
Sentais are screwed. Number 1, isn't it like Grand Zeo?
歴史が壊されても
Is this him? Who else? Yeah, who else but him? He's like a god at this
Sure,
point.
absolutely none of you are surprised by
None
Zeo
of
being
them,
in the
even
number
me
one
as like a
spot.
casual
When I
fan
first
of
started
Kamen
working
Rider.
on
I
this
knew
list,
this was
Zeo
coming.
hadn't even finished yet, and I was already positive that this guy would be at the very top. A bit of a no-brainer once you consider how his very first on-screen appearance features him one-shotting characters as strong as Uva Complete Form, Sagittarius Nova, and Evolved Gremlin, who's even more powerful than Wizard's Infinity style. Zeo can summon any Kamen Rider from any point in history to fight alongside him in any one of their forms. There's no way this could be considered outside help either, since the riders he summons are just mindless clones without any sort of free will. But in all honesty, Zio likely doesn't even need this ability either way, since he already has so many other broken abilities as it is. These include freezing time, rewinding time, seeing into the future. He's been able to tag opponents that can travel at clock up speeds, and as Oma Zio, he can one-shot characters like Evil Cobra, Another Decade, and Undagawa Zeba, who's just as powerful as Ultimate Kuga. But even if Sogo
This
isn't
dude, man.
physically strong enough to kill his opponent,
This
which
dude is
I
just
think we've
overly
pretty much
OP.
proven isn't the case with
Overly
literally
overpowered.
anyone, he's still able to reset the entire universe
This
at will.
dude.
And at the end of Zio, Sogo was able to recreate the Earth so that Gates, Tsukuyomi, and the Time Jackers are all just normal high school students who are born in the same era as him, and no one, including himself, has any memories of their past lives. So I assume if he really wanted to,
That is
Omazeo could
01.
just snap
Hi,
his
Heathen.
fingers and create a new universe where none of the other Kamen Riders were even born. Sogo really is the blind idiot god of the Kamen Rider series.
Blind idiot god.
If
Okay.
you're hearing this, that means you've managed to finish watching this entire
We did,
video.
we did, boys.
I'd really like to thank you for your attention.
So what did we learn
I've
from
spent
this?
nearly
Zio
an
is still as
entire
OP
year
as he
writing,
is.
researching, and
No one
editing
is
for
still
this
as strong
video.
as
If you have
Zio.
any feedback,
It's
I am
Zio all
interested
over
in
the
hearing
place.
it, especially any sort of criticism or anything you think I might have missed or gotten wrong. Like I said, I am
Hey man,
planning on
I'll
making a
agree with you.
follow-up
I don't
video
really
for
know much
Zero
about
One,
Kamen Rider.
in which
I'm a
I'm
casual
also going
fan,
to address any
but
mistakes
they
that
look,
I might have made in this
you have the
video,
stats to back it
since
up.
I'm
You
pretty
researched
sure I
it,
must
and
have
I'm gonna
at least
believe
gotten
you.
one thing wrong. Kind of par for the course when you're dealing with so many characters in one video. And although it likely won't be for a while, I've already started working on a list for the secondary riders, so you can expect to see that at some point. I'd love to thank all of you once again, and have a wonderful
Thank you.
day.
Thank you so much for researching that. Okay, so that's gonna be it for the all main Kamen Riders from strongest to weakest. Well, I'm not really shocked to who the strongest is. I mean, you guys already explained to me that Grand Zio or Zio is still and will never be topped as the strongest, most deadliest god of Kamen Riders out there. I am surprised to see though that Ryuki is stronger than Blade, because I always thought Ryuki was, he was not the strongest Kamen Rider. He wasn't the smartest, obviously. He was like a knucklehead. And I thought the Blade form would be enough to destroy even the survive mode of Ryuki. But yeah, looks like I've learned a new thing from Knight of Spear, and that is Ryuki is stronger than Blade. That doesn't sit well with me, even though Ryuki is my favorite. I've always seen Ryuki as this knucklehead Kamen Rider who isn't the strongest but will try his best to like save everyone. But yeah, thank you once again, Leonardo Villegas, for suggesting this video. I learned a lot, obviously. There are things that I didn't know before that I do know now. I'm surprised to see the classic Kamen Riders like so high up on the list. I always thought they would be like at the bottom tier because they're the older Kamen Riders and they didn't have enough time to like evolve and write them as strong as they are. But I'm wrong. They are stronger than some of the more recent Kamen Riders. So thank you for suggesting this video. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Hit like, subscribe, follow our socials, gonna be linked in the description. Help us reach 2,000 subscribers. We're currently at 1,190 subs. So thank you guys so much for the support, the likes, the comments, and dislikes as well. We really appreciate your honest and sincere feedback towards us. And yeah, that's gonna be it. In case you don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.